Namaste. This will be a 20-minute practice that you can do whenever you don't have time to go to a class or you don't really feel up to a whole hour or a longer class. So we'll begin lying, please, flat on your back. And as you lie down, just hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe close the eyes if your mind's wandering a lot. Get a little longer through the back of the neck, sliding the base of the skull back. Let the shoulders settle and drop. And even as you draw the knees in, let the tail just gently drop down towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths there. If it feels right to gently rock from left to right to massage out your lower back, do. And keep that right knee hugging in. And as you exhale, straighten out your left leg along the floor. Really actively stretch away with the left inner heel, flexing the left foot, making that foot become alive. And allowing the left thigh bone to drop down towards the floor. But even as the left leg is working, draw that right knee further in towards your right shoulder. With the next inhale, reach out your right arm to the right. And as you exhale, twist, letting the left knee, the left hand, help to guide the right knee over to the left. That right knee doesn't have to be on the ground. The right shoulder doesn't have to be on the ground. But just find that there's space to develop in both directions. Take a slow, deep breath into that right waist. And with an exhale, belly drawing in a little bit, bring the knee back up to center. With an inhale, bring in your left knee now. And exhale, straighten out the right leg. So you're changing sides. And like you did on that first side, stretch away actively through the inner right heel, the right foot alive and awake. Lengthen again through the back of your neck, let the shoulders drop. And as the right thigh drops down towards the floor, draw the left knee further in towards you. Take a breath. And with an inhale, reach that left arm out to the left. And as you exhale, twist. So the right hand's helping to guide the left knee over across the body towards the floor to the right of you. But again, the knee doesn't need to be all the way down. The left shoulder doesn't have to be all the way down. But just find there's space to develop in both directions. And take a slow breath into that left waist. And then with an exhale, belly drawing in just that little bit. Draw the knee back up again. Bend both knees up. Place both feet now on the floor. Lengthen your tail down if you need to. And just rest your hands on your belly. And take 2 breaths, breathing down into your hands without aggressively poofing out your belly. Just finding that you can soften. And then reach the legs out along the mat. Stretch the arms up and over your head. Couldn't be an easier, simpler stretch. Just full body stretch from tip to toe. Reach the arms back. Stretch the feet away. And then bending the knees again for a moment. Roll over onto your right side. And keep your head heavy. Press your left hand into the floor. And smoothly lift yourself up. Make your way, please, into child's pose with your knees about shoulder width apart so there's a little bit of space for your belly. Let the forehead really rest. And with an inhale, come forward to all fours, moving gracefully. Set yourself up, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And use your exhale to round your back, pressing your hands and your shins and even the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale to lift the crown of the head, lift the tailbone up. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, heart forward. And exhale, round again. Empty out your lungs as you open the space between the shoulder blades. One more time now, inhaling to lift up. And exhaling to round. Neutral spine now. Inhale, tuck your toes. Lift your knees to downward facing dog as you exhale. And if your legs are feeling a bit tight, bring your feet wider. Feet can start at mat width apart. It's easier on the calves. And then mindfully pad out your heels a couple of times, bending one knee and grounding the opposite heel back and down. Moving slowly between the legs so that you feel that it starts to make a difference and unravel the fibrous muscles of the calves. Let the head be really heavy and ground your hands into the mat so your arms and your spine get longer. Lengthen now both heels back and down. Press the tops of your thighs back and lift up and back through the sit bones. And put a little bend in your knees, and as you inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet, end up at the back part of your mat. Grab your elbows when you get there, and just let the head really go. Make sure that your knees aren't caving in. They're parallel just like your feet are. With your next exhale, release your hands again. Inhale, walk your hands forward again, making your way back to your downward dog. And with your exhale, when you get there, press your thighs back and let your head go. Now, if your feet are mat width, bring your feet again about hip width apart. And then as you inhale, come forward to a plank pose. Top of a press up, arms straight. You might need to shuffle your feet back a little so that your shoulders end up over the heels of your hands. And if plank feels a bit hard, drop your knees down. With an exhale, release back into downward dog, lifting up and back through the hips. And let's do that with breath. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Fill your lungs there. Exhale, move back to downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale, forward. Stretch back through the heels, forward through the head, and exhale, downward dog. And 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. This time, inhale, come back into plank pose. And now do drop your knees. And as you exhale, lie down to the floor onto your belly, all the way down. Point your toes back, clasp your hands behind you. And as you inhale, stretch back through your knuckles, lift up through your chest. And as the knuckles draw back, hover the wrists up away from the bum. Pull the chest forward, the shoulders back and down. But ground the tops of your feet, ground the pubic bone. And as you inhale, lift the crown of the head a little higher up. And as you exhale, release all the way back down again. Good, hands under your shoulders. Lift up to all fours as you inhale. Now stay in all fours and round your back again for cat stretch. Press your hands down, press your shins down. As you inhale, now lift up that right leg behind you. Lift the crown of the head as you lift the right leg. Right knee to your nose as you exhale, and round your back, tucking the shin up away from the floor. Lift the leg again as you inhale, and this time step the foot quietly up between the hands as you exhale. Bend into your front knee. Keep the back knee down for now, and inhale, reach both arms up over your head, crescent pose. Now as you sink forward into that front foot, square the hips forward and lift the pubic bone, dropping the tail down. Grab the left wrist, and as you inhale, give that left arm a tug up. As you exhale, there's a little side stretch to the right, just to get a little deeper into the front of that left hip. Take a breath there. And as you inhale, come back to center. Both hands to the floor as you exhale. Easy twist to your right as you inhale. So your left hand stays on the floor, the right arm reaches up, turning around to the right. But then have a little glance at your right knee. Make sure it's still in line with the hip and toes. Bend a little deeper into your front knee and turn the chest. As you next inhale, bring the right hand back down again. As you exhale, sit the hips back as though towards your left foot. Flex your right foot away from you. So your bum's right above your left knee, stretching that right heel straight, drawing those toes back towards you. Half split or half Ardha Hanumanasana. As you next inhale, coming back into your lunge and bringing the hands back to the floor. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog, lifting the hips up. Inhale, come forward to plank pose and pause. Remember, you can drop your knees if it feels better. Soften the space between the shoulder blades, but tuck up through your belly. Now, optionally dropping your knees, exhale, lie down to the floor. Point your toes back. Clasp your hands again behind you, but change the interlace now so the other little finger's on top. Stretch back through your knuckles, lift up through the chest. Ground the feet, ground the pubic bone. Get a little longer, pulling the sternum forward as you lift it up. And as you next inhale, lift the tops of your ears to lift up further. And exhale, lie back down, hands under shoulders. All fours as you inhale, staying in all fours and rounding your back for cat as you exhale. Lift up your left leg from here, inhale, lift the crown of the head. Knee to your nose as you exhale and round your back. Lift the leg again, inhale. Step the foot up between your hands as you exhale. Keep the back knee down, bend into the front knee and reach up through your arms. Slow down your breathing, and as you sink forward into the front knee, square the hips forward and lift the front belly up away from the left thigh, tail drops. You're grabbing your right wrist now. Inhale, give it a tug up, get taller as you do. Exhale, a little side bend towards the left side of the room, getting that extra space into the front of your right hip. Take a breath there. As you inhale, come back to center again. Both hands to the floor as you exhale. That easy twist to your left, inhale. Turn, reach up your left arm. Your right hand staying on the ground. Glance at that left knee. Make sure it hasn't snuck out. And turn through the chest that little bit more. Bend a little deeper into that front knee too. As you next inhale, bring that left hand back down. Exhale, start to move your hips back towards the right foot. Flex your left foot and let the hips stay stacked on top of the right knee. And then focus on stretching away the inner left heel, drawing back through the toes. Big old hamstring stretch on that left leg. Take a breath there. And as you inhale, come forward again to your lunge. Replant your hands. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, walk or step the feet up towards your hands so you end up at the front part of your mat, feet about hip width apart. And with an inhale this time, sit into chair pose, bend your knees and reach up through your arms. Look past your knees, you want to see your toes, so really anchoring down into the heels. Staying in chair, clasp your hands now behind your back. Stretch back through your knuckles. If you're tight in the shoulders, you can always hold a strap behind you instead. And with an exhale, keeping your knees bent to begin, fold the chest down towards the thighs, head heavy and releasing towards the ground, arms traveling up and away from the lower back. And then almost as an afterthought, maybe the legs start to straighten until you feel the stretch through the hamstrings, but you're not letting your spine roll up. Take a breath, and with your exhale, maybe the hands travel another inch or so. With an inhale, bring the hands back to your lower back. Exhale, release your hands down towards the floor. Draw the chest forward, inhale, lengthen your whole spine. Step your left foot back into a deep lunge as you exhale. Now this time you're going to keep your left leg straight and the left heel up off the floor. Inhale, crescent pose, stretch up through the arms. Bend into the front knee, but like you did before when you were in crescent with the back knee down, lift up through the pubic bone, drop the tail. But here, stretch back strongly through the inner left heel, getting that stretch into the front of the left hip. As you inhale, now bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Exhale, twist around to the right, hooking your left elbow over the right thigh. If it's a bit much on your balance or just feels a little hard right now, drop your left knee. Focus more on the twist. Press your right palm down into your left palm to swivel the chest round like you're trying to bring the chest up towards the thumbs. As you next inhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Exhale. Come forward to plank pose. Inhale. Drop your knees if you want. Lie all the way down as you exhale and keep your hands as they are by your rib cage. Point your toes back. Lift for a low cobra as you inhale. And as you've been working, draw the shoulders back. Pull the chest forward and up. With an exhale, just lie back down again. Either all fours or straight to plank. Inhale. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Walk or step the feet back up towards the hands. Inhale. Heart draws forward. Fold as you exhale. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and turn them straight. Sit into chair pose. Inhale. Bend the knees and reach your arms. Sink down into your heels. And with an inhale, second interlace of the fingers behind your back. Stretch back through the knuckles. And with an exhale, fold. Glue your torso to your thighs. Let your head go. Let the hands travel. And then maybe you start to work the legs straighter, lifting up through the sit bones. Ground down through your feet, spreading out your toes. And with one more breath, maybe the hands just stretch a little more away from the back. As you next inhale, bring the hands back to your lower back. Exhale, release your hands down towards the floor. Pull the heart forward, inhale fully. Step the right foot back, deep lunge as you exhale, and keep the right knee strong. Crescent pose, inhale, reach up through the arms, and as you sink into your front knee, square the hips forward, lift the pubic bone, drop the tailbone, stretch back through the inner right heel, opening more through the front of the right hip. With an inhale, hands to prayer in front of your heart. Twist to your left as you exhale. Hook the right elbow over the left thigh. Remember, you can drop your right knee here, but press the palms to turn the chest round. Try to pick the chest up towards the thumbs. Shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head stretching forward. But keep working the back leg if the knee's lifted. Stretch back that right foot. As you inhale, bring the hands down to the floor again. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank pose. Inhale. Remember, you can drop your knees. Lie down or hover chaturanga as you exhale. Bend your elbows back, belly strong. Cobra or upward facing dog as you inhale. If the arms are straight, lift up the thighs. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Press your thighs back. Lift up your right leg behind you. Inhale deeply. Bend the knee, roll the hip open as you exhale, squaring your hips to the right side of the room. Straighten out the leg again, inhale, square your hips. Knee to your nose, exhale, and round your back. Lift the leg again, inhale, stretch it back. Warrior two, exhale, right foot forward, left heel spins down flat. Lift up through the body, stretch out through the arms. And as you bend into the front knee, track it in line with the center of the foot. Work the back leg nice and strong. Let the tail drop down. Lift up through the crown of the head and expand out through the arms. With your next inhale, reverse your warrior two. So left hand to your left leg. Reach up and back with that right arm. Bend a little deeper into that front knee. With an inhale, cartwheel your hands down. Lift your back heel up. Exhale, drop your back knee down, so your left knee down to the floor. Like we did earlier, inhale, turn, reach up that right arm, left hand stays down, that easy twist. Now you can stay here or add a quad stretch this time. Bend up your left knee, that back knee. Grab the left foot with your right hand. Draw the heel in towards your bum, but keep turning the chest round. Now as you breathe, have a little glance at that right knee. Make sure it hasn't snuck out. Take one more breath. And as you inhale, release the left foot, both hands to the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Vinyasa, glide to plank pose, inhale. Drop your knees if you want. Lie down or hover chaturanga as you exhale. Cobra or upward facing dog as you inhale, pull your shoulders down. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift up your left leg from here, inhale. Bend the knee, roll the hip open, exhale. Squaring your hips towards the left, ground your hands. As you inhale, straighten out the leg again. Exhale, knee to your nose, round your back. Inhale, lift the leg. Warrior two, exhale. Left foot forward, right heel spins down flat. Use an inhale to lift up through your body, stretch out through your arms. And as you bend into the front knee, that left knee, track it in line with the center of the foot. Work the back leg, your right leg nice and strong. And let the tail drop down, crown of the head stretches up, arms expand out fully. One more breath, sink a little deeper into your lunge. And as you inhale, reverse your warrior two. Reach up and back with the left arm. Right hand lightly on your right leg. With an inhale, cartwheel your hands down. Lift the back heel. Exhale, drop your back knee down. Inhale, turn, reach up your left arm. Easy twist to the left. Right hand stays down. And you can stay there, enjoy, catch your breath, or bend up your back knee, that right knee. Grab the foot with the left hand. Draw the heel in towards your bum. But as you breathe, keep sinking forward. Left knee still tracking in line with the center of the foot. Big old stretch along the front right thigh. One more breath, leaning that left shoulder back towards the wall behind you. And as you inhale, release that right foot, both hands down. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop down to your knees, cross your shins, and exhale, roll over your ankles and sit down. And as you sit down, stretch your legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. Feel free to sit up on a prop of some sort if that'll help. Just move the flesh of the buttocks out of the way, ground your sit bones, stretch forward through the heels as you draw the toes back. And as you inhale, reach up through the arms, stretch up strongly, get tall through your spine. Keep that length and exhale, fold your way forward and down, grabbing your shins, ankles, feet, whatever you can manage. Take 3 breaths here, drawing all 10 toes back towards you, heels away, breathing into your spine. And as you inhale, come smoothly back up again. Cross your shins. Doesn't matter which shin is in front. We're coming into a seated cross-legged position. Sit up tall as you inhale. Fold the chest forward as you exhale. Maybe hands come forward on the floor in the front of the shins. Maybe you drop to your elbows. Maybe if you're quite open, you release your forehead to the ground past the shins. Take 2 breaths, breathing down into your hips. As you inhale, use your hands to help, pad back up again. Change the cross of the shins with your exhale so the opposite shin is in front. Sit up tall again as you inhale and fold forward as you exhale. Maybe the hands come forward on the floor, maybe you drop to your forearms, maybe head releases down. 2 deep breaths with respect to your knees as well as your lower back, not just allowing your attention to pool solely in the hips. And then mindfully lift yourself back up again. Rest your hands on your thighs, close your eyes, and sit really tall, drawing the shoulders gently back and down. And just notice what your body's telling you. Notice how you feel. Completely relax your face. And take 1 more breath. Fold the hands at prayer in front of your heart and bow your head, bowing to yourself, to this time that you decided to practice, and to the practice itself. Namaste.